Another rough start for Luis Castillo. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, a lot of fives. Jesse Winker, 2 for 5, another home run, and that is that with the Brewers.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking Nick Castellanos. I mean, good for him for hitting the home, but this team seems to do a lot of damage late, Chris, that doesn't really amount to a hill of anything other than individual stats. And, the problem is, look, you got Luis Castillo and you got Sonny Gray. They're both a combined 1 in 12 or 1 in 10 now at this point. You got Eugenio Suarez hitting below $150 at this point. If I wrote down guys on a piece of paper and go, give me the 5 best Reds players going in this year, they'd at least be 3 of the 5. You're not winning games with those guys not performing. I mean, your 2 best pitchers have 1 win, and guess what's coming up on next week from tomorrow? Memorial Day. 1 win, and they're not hurt. That's impossible to believe.
So the homestand is finally over. Thankfully, they lose both series. Here's David Bell reflecting.
And when you have a homestand where you like you said, it didn't go the way we planned, and we just have to continue to find ways to keep getting better. But there is a level of confidence from going through things like this before that that we can count on. And we have an off day tomorrow. Going on another big road trip, and so it'll be a good day to reset, rejuvenate, and come out and do everything we can to have a great road trip.
My Lord, he's the Undertaker. He really, truly is. I mean, and the thing is, listen, I don't think this is a David Bell issue. There's some David Bell issues I have with lineup construction we just talked about, with use of the back end of the bullpen with TJ Antone earlier in the week not being used against the Giants. I said the Pirates earlier, but it was the Giants. But there's no sense of urgency, and all you have to do is listen to this guy and go, where's his sense of urgency? There is none. And I know you have to be true to your personality, but my word, wake up, David! My goodness sakes, wake up!
So
Thank
now
God they've got a day off tomorrow, and we'll be okay the next day, and I might sleep in for a little bit, and I might wake up, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I might die. I don't know. Who knows? Come on, man.
Skinny's fired up today. Let's start with, there's a lot to digest from this homestand.
Is.
We'll start with Luis Castillo. You thought maybe he turned the corner. It seemed like, okay, finally he's putting it together. Then he has another bad start. The month of May has been awful.
Awful.
5 innings pitched against San Francisco with 11 strikeouts. Great. Before that in Colorado, he goes 3 2/3, 10 hits, 8 earned runs. In Cleveland, 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs. Against Chicago, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs. He just, what's
Chris,
wrong?
he's had 1 good start, and you can argue that the one against the Giants was good because of the 11 strikeouts in 5 innings. It also took him 90-plus pitches, and guess what he couldn't do? Couldn't answer the bell for the 6th because he had basically reached a pitch limit. 1 good start. That was the 2nd start of the season against the Pirates. I mean, everything else has been an utter disaster. He's not spotting the fastball. You thought this last start, okay, finally the changeup was starting to dive away from hitters. But if they're not, the worst at bat for him today was Travis Shaw, who has, and John Sadak, I'll give him credit, had a great stat on the fact that he is the worst batting average against fastballs in the league. He blows a 98-mile-an-hour fastball by him and then goes cute, walks him to force in a run. How about you just try to blow another one by him? Stop thinking so much. And you got to keep running him out there, I guess, but I'm at the stage of give me TJ Antone and put this cat in the bullpen and let's see if we can fix him, because he is right now a disaster on the mound.
Yeah, 7.61 ERA, 1-7 record for a guy that you wanted to be one of those top 2 aces.
And I think they're 1-9 in games he starts too, so he's had 2 no decision, but they're 1-9 as a team. That's brutal.
How concerned should we be at this point with him? Is this a real problem, or is this still a slow start?
No, this is an absolute real problem. We're not talking a start or 2, and it almost started on opening day where, the argument was it was cold, couldn't get a feel for the changeup. All right, I'm going to give you a little bit of that, and especially then he bounced back against the Pirates. Since that start, it's been nothing but downhill. And yes, I heard everybody, I saw tweets and I saw people report, turn the corner in that Giants game. Yes, he struck out 11 in 5 innings. He also gave up a huge 3-run bomb. You can't do that if you're an ace and you're a stopper. I don't care who you are. You got 1 win from your first and second starters in your rotation. I'm surprised they're 5 games under 5. What are they? Or 6 games under 5? I think it's 5. They should be way worse than that. It's a miracle they are where they are. It's a miracle, Jerry.
With the schedule for the homestand, I mean, you split in Colorado. Nobody really liked that.
And got a little lucky to do that.
Got a little lucky to do that. You come to San Francisco, okay, Giants' best record in baseball.
Sure.
They're playing really well. You get swept out the door by them.
Can't have that happen at home.
Can't have that. And then the Brewers come in, who aren't significantly better. They haven't been doing well this year, but they win the series. I know we've been saying patience, it's early. we're getting to the point, it's almost June.
Yeah, I think we talked a couple of Sundays ago. Memorial Day is that first line of demarcation. That's the one where you go, all right, let's take inventory of where we're at. And the inventory of where you are is not very good. And on the horizon, I'm not sure how you fix it. I need Sonny Gray to be better. I need Luis Castillo to be better. I need Eugenio Suarez to be better. The problem is, for at least the latter two, Castillo did finish well last year, but he had that stretch earlier he was bad. Suarez, now we're talking 100 games going back to the start of last year, 100 plus. Dude's batting under $170. He's hit some home runs, yes, but under $170 today. Left 5 guys on base, struck out with the bases loaded. At some point, you have to say, if you're going to try to win ball games, I can't play these guys. I certainly can't play them in a main role. I think that's where we're at almost.
With all the injuries, obviously, I think that's buying Gino some time because you need bodies at this point. They don't have
and Senzel would probably give you a chance to maybe think about making a change.
When they come back, is it, you think, time to pull the plug and start sitting Gino more?
I think you have to. I mean, it's not like you haven't given him a fair chance. It's not like you've said, hey, I don't have confidence in you, so I'm going to bat you 8. They've hit him in the middle of the order. Today they dropped him down to 6 and it still didn't work because he still left guys on base. At some point, if you're going to try to win games, I can't have a guy batting $150 in my lineup. I don't care who it is. He better be Ozzie Smith and be able to do backflips over to first base and then throw the ball before I'm going to put the guy in the lineup. He's not that guy. I mean, he's a liability at shortstop defensively. You put him there out of default, and because you thought his bat would be able to carry the load. His bat's not only not carrying the load, it's awful. I mean, it is just awful, and it's sad to watch because trust me, 2 years ago, I thought this guy was on the verge of being one of the consistent 40-plus home run guys in this league. Never was going to hit for high average, but give me a 275, which he was capable of. Middle of the lineup, 40, 45 home run guy. Right now, he's a disaster at the plate, and there's nothing that says, well, he hit a couple balls good here. No, he's a mess. I don't know how he fixes it.
Reds had 7 hits total in this game. Most of them came from the first 2
Correct.
guys, Jesse Winker and Nick Castellanos. How do you get this lineup to, and I know it's hard with baseball because there's so much that goes into it, but how do you get some energy into this lineup?
That's a great question. I think Shogo Akiyama can probably do that, and I say that knowing full well that Tyler Naquin's actually played pretty well. You look at his OPS, it's in the high 800s. I'll take that guy every day. He's not a table setter. Nick Senzel, if you want to do it and you want to pull Eugenio Suarez out of the lineup, let's plug him in at third for a little bit when he's healthy, and that's always a question mark, and let him maybe try to set the table. I need somebody else at the top of the lineup, maybe the top 2 spots. Those guys drop down to the middle. I mean, maybe if Joey comes back, maybe Joey hits leadoff or hits second just to try to set the table for these guys because you are wasting a lot of extra base hits. You're wasting a lot of home runs, and maybe it wouldn't matter because if the first 2 guys get out and there's Winker and he's hitting a solo home run anyway, it probably doesn't matter. But it feels like you're just wasting those 2 guys at the top of the lineup.
We had so much confidence in this team. We thought that they could make another playoff run. There was a lot of excitement. Where they're at right now, and the season is far from over, where they're at right now, where do you see this team sitting?
I keep thinking every week, all right, I'm waiting for Castillo. I'm ready for Sonny Gray. I'm ready for Eugenio to start doing something. And it just has not clicked. And I just don't know how and when it does, and if it doesn't, you're heading for a disastrous season for the most part. I'm still amazed there's still only 5 games under 500 with what's going on with 3 key guys. I'm not talking about 3 bit part guys. I'm talking about 3 key components. All I can do right now is cross my fingers and hope they start to hit and pitch the way they're supposed to and the way they have. But boy, that seems like a long shot at the moment.
I think we need to start talking more seriously on a brighter note.
Yes.
Jesse Winker.
He's been great.
He has been great. I think we need to start seriously considering him not only as an all-star, but in the MVP conversation. That might be an understatement with the success he's had lately. Is this a fluke, you think, or is this something he can do consistently?
Yeah, I don't think it's a fluke. I don't know if he's a 1,000-plus OPS guy. I do think he's a 900-ish, and we're not talking far off. The power numbers have consistently started to come more and more for him. The older he's gotten, the more he's gotten into his power prime. He's more than willing to take a walk. He won't swing at a bad pitch, sometimes to his detriment. But the guy's been outstanding. And between him and Castellanos, it's crazy to think those are 2 of arguably the best hitters in the National League. and you still aren't winning ball games. That's bad.
Let's look into the future with their upcoming games, a series in Washington, and oh joy!
Oh, yee, Max
your
Scherzer,
first
yay!
game, Max Scherzer, and then the third game, Steven Strasburg, who isn't having the season he usually has, but hey, it's still Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, and then you go back to the Reds side of it on the third and fourth guys on that line, Sonny Gray and Luis Castillo. Pitch like you're capable and go out pitch the people across from you, Steven Strasburg and the other cat who starts with an A.
So 3 in Washington, and then they open up a series with the Cubs. If they're going to start turning it around, I think now is about the time they need.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this past week was, though, too. I mean, you had a chance with the Giants coming to town, and they're struggling at the plate. They've been a good team, but still, okay, coming to town. Brewers coming to town, and you go 1-6. Off of really getting a little bit lucky those last couple games in Colorado, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say at this point of the game because it is really frustrating to watch for everybody.
All right, you got it all off your chest? You good?
Maybe.
Deep breaths, everybody.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be all right tomorrow. I'll see where it goes.
It's over.
I'll go see if I can call David Bell here in a minute. We can talk in monotones with each other. It'll be really good for all of us.
Richard Skinner, talking a little Reds.
All right, David. See you later.